Hi, I'm Dr. Sabrina Akrami. I'm so excited to be bringing this video to you today. I've been meaning to do this for quite some time, and I really enjoy giving lectures out to the public and also the medical staff, and have been asked many times with a lot of positive feedback to go ahead and make some videos for the general public. Because sometimes physician communication with patients is not always the best, and there's a lot of medical jargon that gets in the way. So I am a board-certified internal medicine and cardiovascular medicine physician, and today I just wanted to talk to you about 10 important tips for weight loss and healthy heart eating. I have seen a lot of videos out there on the internet that are really popular, and unfortunately there's a lot of misinformation and even dangerous kind of guidance from people that don't really have background in dietitian or medical background to give really accurate advice, and it's kind of scary some of the things that are recommended out there that can be dangerous for your health. So I just want to bring these tips to you today, and hopefully you can use them in your day-to-day life. So number one would be definitely don't go to the grocery hungry, because of course when you're hungry you're more likely to grab sugary junk food and that kind of stuff. And you might even miss the important stuff like the fruits and vegetables that you really need. And you're more likely to pick up extra stuff that you don't really need, that is just empty calories and that kind of stuff. So always make sure that you're not starving when you go to the grocery, and you'll probably notice this, how much your bill is when you check out, if you stick to a budget and you're not hungry when you go in there. Number two would be definitely eat 3 healthy portion meals a day, as well as some healthy small snacks in between. So a lot of people are under the misconception that if they starve themselves through breakfast and lunch or something like that and then eat a huge dinner, that it'll help them lose weight. But in actuality, the ways that our body is built, if you think back to the caveman times when your body didn't know when the next meal was coming, whether that was like a woolly mammoth or whatever, the longer you waited, the more your body would kind of go into panic mode and think, well, I haven't eaten in a while here. I don't know when my next meal is coming. So I'm actually going to start grabbing onto and holding on to the fat and calories even tighter to not let them go, because I don't know when my next meal is coming and I don't want to starve. So in this day and age, you know, most people have adequate access to food and nutrition, and that's not an issue, but that's the way our bodies are built. So it's actually a lot better for you to be constantly eating and burning calories, and your metabolism is constantly going. So definitely don't skip breakfast and eat a nice healthy breakfast. That's really important. Number 3 would be you want to eat less meat. This is more heart healthy type of thing, but you want to eat less meat. So if you do eat meat, you want to eat more of the lean cuts like turkey or chicken, some of like the white fishes, salmon, that kind of stuff. You want to avoid things like red meat, pork chops, and that kind of stuff, and eat more fruits and vegetables, and eat a lot of variety in the colors of fruits and vegetables. But anyway, when you do eat meat, you definitely want it to be more baked or grilled. You don't want it to be fried, that kind of stuff. Also, when you do have fruits and vegetables, don't forget, when you put salad dressing on your salads, don't destroy the value of it by putting on like ranch or Thousand Island or those really heavy, creamy, cheesy ones. What you got to go for are the olive oils and vinaigrettes and that kind of thing to actually keep it healthy. So sometimes, I'm not going to mention where, but sometimes when you go out for fast food places and you think you're getting the salad, which is a much better in your mind with lower calories and that kind of stuff, by the time they put all the junk on it, with the ranch dressing, the fried chicken, and all that kind of stuff, it could even be worse than getting like a big hamburger or whatever. So definitely take that into consideration. It defeats the purpose of what you're trying to do. So number 4, this one's really important actually. Try not to have junk food in the house, because when you get hungry, you're going to reach for the junk food first. If you don't have that option, you're more likely to reach for something healthy and eat a lot healthier. It does make a big difference. So sometimes it's tough when you're living with other people, or if you're an adult and you have children in the house and they like have a lot of snacky foods and that kind of stuff. But if you're in control of it, definitely avoid all the junk food in putting in your house in the first place, so that temptation isn't there. Even the best of us, when you have that kind of temptation and you're hungry, you're more likely to reach for that junk food, and it can be tough. So why not eliminate that trigger for you? Number 5, So the American Heart Association definitely recommends exercise weekly. So for the average person, about 150 minutes of moderate exercise or 75 minutes of vigorous exercise. So what does that mean? I know sometimes that can be really tough actually, but basically what you want to do is you want to do regular exercise where you get your heart rate up. That's the key. And if you're not into exercise or you haven't done it yet, even just taking like a lap around the house, around the block, walking a few miles, slowly easing into it, even just like 10 minutes of exercise a day has a huge impact on your heart health and your quality of life and that kind of thing. Even if you're not at your ideal body weight, if you're doing regular exercise and getting your heart rate up, it has a huge impact on the quality of your life and the health and all of those things. So don't be discouraged. You know, you can start from just like 10 minutes a day and work your way up, and that's perfect, and that's much better than not doing anything at all. Next up is portion control. You don't want to eat like a big bag of chips in front of the TV, for instance. So when you're snacking on foods and that kind of stuff, pay attention to what you're doing. It's really easy to eat popcorn or chips when you're watching a movie and not paying attention. It's really easy when you're preparing a meal to be snacking away and not really count that as calories or what's going in. But actually that stuff can add up quite a bit. Also, a lot of people don't realize that portion control is really important. So here in America, when you go out to a restaurant, our portion sizes are just astronomical. They're out of control. It's like multiple portions for one person in one meal is like more like 3 portions. So actually the amount of meat, if you're going to be eating meat, the amount of meat should be like about the size of a deck of cards. So not that much, not like those huge portions. And something that you can do that a lot of people like to do is when they go out, when they get their meal, what they'll do is just put half of it away in a container to go right off the bat. So they don't see it, they don't deal with it, and they have it for later. So, and your body will get adjusted to those meal portion sizes, but right now in the US, they're like so out of control, and the same thing with those super big drinks and that kind of stuff is just ridiculous. It's like out of control. So portion size is really important. And the nice thing is if you're eating like a lot of fruits and vegetables and that kind of stuff, you can load up on that stuff and fill yourself up. But when it comes to like the carbs and that kind of things and the sweets, I mean, you have to really pay attention to how much you're getting and realize that when you go out to eat, that their portions are way off. So the next thing that you definitely want to do is decrease salt intake. So a lot of people don't realize that frozen foods, fast foods, cold cuts, like when you go to the store and you get sandwich meat, that kind of stuff. Also, canned soups have crazy amounts of salt in it that you really do need to start paying attention to the labels on these things, and it's an incredible amount of salt in there. Salt's not good for you. It helps you retain fluid. It makes your blood pressure go up. It's just not good overall. What you can do instead would be to use seasoning, different types of seasoning without that salt in it to make your food taste good. Another thing is when you're eating out and that kind of stuff or getting fast food, you know, they put so much salt in there that you don't even taste, so what's the point? And also at home when you're cooking and that kind of stuff, I would say try to avoid pouring in the salt while you're cooking where you won't even taste it too much, and focus more like at the very end, just put a little bit that you can actually taste it and enjoy it and not overdo it. So the next important thing would be calcium and vitamin D. This is especially important for women to make strong, healthy bones. So milk, low fat or fat free is really good, or vitamin D. But yeah, I know there's a lot of controversy with milk nowadays and that kind of stuff, and there's other substitutes that a lot of people like. But if you don't want to drink milk and that kind of thing, that's okay, but just make sure you get your calcium and vitamin D. And along with calcium and vitamin D for strong bones, especially for women, but just people in general, you want to do like at least lightweight aerobic activity to help build strong, healthy bones so you don't run into problems down the line with like arthritis and osteoporosis and broken bones and all sorts of not good things. So next up is occasional junk food. So the thing is, you know, there's a lot of people that say, well, just cut out chocolate altogether, cut out, you know, potato chips altogether, whatever. So for everyone, you know, they have their own vice, okay? So different people have different things that they like feel like they can't live without, and then when they have it, they just go overboard. So those plans never actually work. I mean, you have to include whatever you are absolutely obsessed with or you love, But the thing is, you just have to do it in moderation. That's the key here. If you totally, for me, like for instance, it would be chocolate, let's say. So for me, if I cut out that altogether, I know it's going to backfire, and then it's going to backfire like tenfold. So you just have to have it in healthy portions. Try to get healthier options of it, smaller amounts of it. Don't do it all the time, and that kind of thing. So then you don't sabotage yourself and go down the wrong road. So that goes with like sweets and that kind of stuff. But also, don't forget, alcohol is a huge caloric intake. So those people who are drinking beer, wine, whatever, those fun mixed drinks and that kind of stuff, that's fine. But realize that they have tons of calories in them, and those add up pretty quickly as well. So that counts when you're thinking of like sweets and that kind of stuff. And also, you know, of course, excessive alcohol is not good for anyone in general, for their heart or their health in general anyway. But again, it's just about moderation. So just occasional, and realize how many calories are going in. So you have to burn out those calories that are going in, right, to balance it out. But you do actually burn quite an amount of calories just doing your daily activities and that kind of stuff as well. And the last thing I want to say is you want to increase your water intake and cut down on your like soda pop and that kind of stuff. That's a huge thing as well. So actually, if you drink a lot of soda pop and you stop that suddenly, I bet you'll lose like a bunch of pounds right there. You'll be amazed at how much calories come from that and how addicting it is, and also the excessive amount of caffeine as well. And now there's some links with soda pops and that kind of stuff with like diabetes and all these bad things. So you definitely don't want to have that happen either. So those are my big tips for weight loss and healthy heart. I hope that helped you quite a bit. Please subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this video, and please let me know what other topics you would like to hear. So it could be anything from, you know, chest pain, palpitations, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, how to get into medical school, you know, is residency like Grey's Anatomy and Scrubs and that kind of stuff, which it kind of is in some ways. But thank you so much, and please subscribe if you're interested, and thumbs up if you like. Thank you.